What is up, guys? We are back with Austin giving us a new updated profile on the Bystial, cyberdragon,
Yeah,
branded, everything,
yeah, that stuff.
all the good stuff. So we're gonna give you guys an updated profile. Anything you want to say before showing us the deck profile?
Yeah, so I'm not bored to death because the Shizu tier is finally dead. So
Yes.
we can try new things now. So the deck has definitely changed because I can't run nearly as many Bystials before. The format is not nearly as light and dark heavy or things like that. So a lot of big changes. And actually, there's probably still more even coming. But I'm just gonna kind of go through my thoughts and stuff on the direction of how things are gonna go. Because in order to deal with the Cashtiro board and deal with Branded's just floatability and things like that, we got to get a little creative. So
We have to. We have to. All right. Any shout outs before we start?
just you, man.
Let's go.
So nothing has changed here. I'm still just playing my cyber package. The smallest full cyber package you can still play. It's still all you need. You can toolbox anything else that you would need like that, and still playing the power bond button.
All the time.
It works with the branded fusion really well, and honestly, it's even better. I would say this format in the regard of just if you manage to resolve the power bond at all, you answer anything and everything that they have. Nothing's big enough to deal with it. It clears back row away, and I can make it under protection now. I'll get into that later. So.
Okay.
So,
There you go.
anyway.
He's gonna give you some spice.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. Still playing Keeper of the Dragon Magic.
Keeper, so good.
Yeah, so he's just the other normal summon that helps facilitate everything else and get the branded engine started. And then I can, lets me recycle my Cyber Dragons, my Fallen of Albaz's back, different things. So any time I have to just basically start a combo or even attempt to break a board, he's actually a good way to just kind of start. So.
Cool.
Great card there. He's just the other one. Okay, so Bystial engine. So 2 Lubellion, 1 Magnemite, 1 Sarnier. And that is it.
Did the Rebellion change?
Yeah, so I used because I was just playing 12 when Shizu Tier was around. It was just full Bystials everywhere. But the main card you're just trying to resolve is just the Lubellion. So
Right.
if you get the Lubellion and you need to get your rest of your engine, you grab the Sarnier, and if you don't have Keeper and you want to set up Keeper, then you grab the Magnemite, and then end phase you search the Keeper to go help you just kind of backdoor into that engine. So, but it's really just getting this to pull Branded Regained and Beast, and now Branded Lost. Branded Lost is super important to help break boards and protect everything else that you're trying to do. So that's why it's really because most of the time they just sit kind of dead. I don't really ever want to draw these. It's I have to assume that the opponent is going to have light and darks. I played for Wanderese. I played Kashtira. I played Marine Cess of all things. It was there was no light and darks all day.
All day.
So yeah,
we don't get to resolve those.
So anytime
those effects
if you're up
today.
against Branded, it's I side 1 Baldrake to deal with Branded, and then it's more of a complete engine. But other than that, you're just trying to get my own engine starting, and that's it. That's all I got. So double Fallen of Albaz still. I sold my ultis. Don't make fun of me.
Excuse the rarities.
Just comments, yeah.
Excuse the rarities, right?
You still have to play 2. It's not full blown Branded, so you don't need 3. So the two is good. Solid card for that.
Trust me, that's
1 Springin's Kit. It's sort of like another Keeper of Dragon Magic. Lets you just search for Branded Fusion, different things of that regard. Helps you recycle other things, spells and traps too, because we play more of them. I'm toolboxing more, so it's something that can get off of Branded Lost or like Mercury or things like that you can search. Which, speaking of Mercury, is right here. I do play a Renbrum now, so that play is super good. But again, it's not full Despia, so I'm only playing 1. I don't really care if I draw it or don't draw it. It's just floating in there. It's just another avenue that I have. So it's a great card to play for that. And then, the 1 dog. Again, don't make fun of my rarity.
Excuse the rarities, guys.
So, in addition to Rimbrum, the reason why I did this was because, in addition to Rimbrum helping break the Kashtira board, Dragoon is really good at breaking the Kashtira board. So, if you don't have to worry about playing multiple copies of these or multiple Rinbrums or stuff, you can play this, and then when they have the whole Kashtira board, you can pop the extra Fenrir or the Mind Hacker that they have with the Dragoon. And when the Arise Heart goes to trigger or try to banish something, you just Omni it, and then you get your 4K and still an Omni that's untargeted and everything else, and you can just kind of crack through. They can't really deal with Dragoon. they have Book of Eclipse, and you still have an Omni negate, so they have to have a more than just Book of Eclipse and the rest of their monsters. So it was kind of worth just playing the brick just for that. So that was really cool, and I can recycle it too. People get scared. You can just fusion deployment this out.
Sheesh.
Like why? Why are we doing things like
What
this?
are we doing?
Those are the monsters. So spells. Cyber spells have not changed. 3 emergency, 1 realm, and the bond. This is still like I want to see all of my starters that I have, and then this is the power bond combo.
Power bond, always so strong.
It is. It's super strong. Actually, it got stronger. That's kind of the weird sort of thing about it. Before, the Bystials were kind of supporting the Cybers stuff to help them punch through.
Yeah.
And the way that it is in this format, the Cybers are actually kind of helping the Bystials ramp back up again. So it's changed. It's kind of cool.
What's cool is that his match is actually gonna be in the channel. My friend actually scooped before he got to the power bond. So shout outs to Tony for scooping on that match.
It was coming though.
It was coming.
So it was gonna exactly in that match you'll see because like it was gonna happen, which was actually the first game.
Yeah, it was the first game
in the format, and it's okay. This is live. This is good again. So. Double Clockwork Knight. I don't play 3 anymore just because if the Kashtira Arise Heart is on the board, the Macrocosmos effect is in play, which means I can't contact fuse because the Chimera Techs, when they contact fuse, they have to be able to send the monsters to grave, and obviously I can't do that if there's a walking Macrocosmos on the field. So it's not like it's awful because it can help boost, because it means it lowers their attack and defense and boosts mine, so all of their defense is not 3k anymore, it's 25. And then all of my stuff is either 3k or 26 because it's 2100 is Rampage, and then it boosts to 26. So it can still help you clear the board. It's just not quite as good as it was before, where it was just an answer like on its own. So I have to have it in combination with something else. So I side the 3rd instead.
Okay.
Some of the best cards, honestly, double tactics and a thrusting. I only have 1 thrusting, but I would play more.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say.
This card's insane right now. Like being able to search literally any other piece, and it's actually the requirement isn't even as hard as the tactics is. They have to activate a monster effect during the main. They just have to activate a monster effect for this
at any point.
At any time. So
yeah.
Anytime it was that. So there was a thing I was thinking. I was like, oh, you thrust to like search tactics. There was a play today. I tactics and drew into the thrust and was like, oh, that's right. I can do it the other way too.
Yeah, you can also do it the other way around.
So and it just searched me the Branded Fusion.
Yeah, Branded Fusion.
So free. So there's so many applications to this. So I would love at least a 2nd one. If I could play a 3rd, I probably still would because with the Cyberdark Chimera, you have to ditch a spell or trap. So like even if it was dead,
you can just ditch it out. Yeah,
it's so easy. So
if you had the 3 or the 3 copies or the 2 copies, would you take out 1 talent or would you leave it at 2 talents?
I don't know. Right now, it's like this card's really good right now. I don't know. I kind of like the 2 because I just like seeing it, and because this is just anything. You can get anything. So it sort of depends on like what you're playing and if they're trying to bait you with monster effects and stuff like that. Because if they are, like you're off to the races immediately. So you sort of just have to watch. Like versus if you're just getting impermed all the time and they're just kind of floating there, then obviously it's not so good. So it does depend. But when it's good, it's really good. So if you have another way to use it, like for me, it's Chimera and Broken.
Yeah, really
good. Okay, so this is what we're doing. This is how we win games. It is main.
There you go.
Hole.
3 holes, dude.
I honestly, it deals with everything at the same time because if they have, again, you have the Kashtira board. The Arise Heart either takes the material off the era, so this clears everything, or the era lives, but then it has no material and it's just sitting there on its own. As long as you have access to an extra monster zone with the era, it's fine because I can make Dragoon. So if nothing else, I just put Dragoon on board after Dark Holing, and their board's gone. Everything's gone. I still have an Omni, everything else. The other thing about that is like if I clear the board, not only is the Ibli gone and their board gone, but like. Because obviously this card for me is a 1 card OTK. Yeah. So these 2 cards together, if they're resolved successfully, this is 8,800 damage through the Rampage, and you have no board.
And no board. Yep. Another power bond.
So, yeah, basically.
Essentially, it's another power bond.
Like, it was an answer that then facilitated everything else I was trying to do. So that was like, this is better than Book of Eclipse for me, which I still side. I mean, God forbid you like Eclipse and then Dark Hole somebody or something. So a lot of things. Worked really, really well. The one fusion deployment, I only play one just because. So if you notice, like I'm not playing Blazing Cartesia. I know it's kind of weird, but it's like because there aren't other lights and darks that I really have just like floating around. I don't really have a whole lot to fuse with. It's a little too hard. So I'm not busting out Cartesia with this. I'm bringing out Albaz. I'm bringing out cyberdragon, and I can bring out Dark Magician if I really want to. And then, but Keeper searches it too. So I just break boards differently because of the Clockwork Knight and everything else that I'm doing. So it's not a bad card by any means. I like having it, but it's not as important, I guess, for me as it is for like Despia and Branded or something else. So. And then I guess the rest of the branded stuff lost. This is what's super important actually, is the new stuff. So it's like I'll just put the rest. Regained, Beast, and a Retribution. I don't know how I feel about Retribution because I'm only playing the one Sarnier. I sort of feel like I don't need it, honestly, but it's not bad. Like it still can do something. I just feel like it could be something else. This would become a thrust, I guess. Like,
yeah, I was gonna
something
say.
else. So, and then these two cards, just everyone knows these cards, these pair and like are your engine and everything that work together. This is kind of the real new kind of like breath of life for the deck because this is how basically you start breaking boards where they have to negate this card because if they don't and then the branded fusion goes off, they can't respond, and so what'll happen is the Albion will come out, they can't respond to the Albion, and then he'll bring the Rampage out, and the Rampage will come out and crack back row, and they can't respond to the cracking either, so they'll just watch all of the back row disappear, and they can't do anything about it.
Right.
And then it searches and pluses more cards too, so like this card was just ridiculous. Rebellion searches it now. This lets you search the Mercurier and the what the heck else am I running? Oh, that's right, the Spring.
The kit.
Yeah,
the kit.
So it's like we can just keep going further. You can play a main deck Albion too, just to help like cycle and just like keep sending something. Because I don't have a lot of targets. I think it's only 2 right now because I'm not playing Cartesia. Yeah, it's just these. And like Albaz, obviously. But, it's just because it's not a lot, so it's like maybe the sort of thinking out loud, Albion might actually be pretty good.
Oh, okay.
So, that's the main.
All right.
So you'll get the general idea. And then, so one Seeger, he's the only link, so he's just for the powerbomb play, and he's just kind of there. Everything else is here. And then one Fortress, I side my second one, just because the Clockwork is kind of like more hit or miss, I should say. It's not like, again, it's not like it's bad, but you don't want to do everything before. One Mega Fleet. It's only good against Rogue. Castira doesn't use the extra zone. If you get lucky and they put the Shangri Era in the extra monster zone or something, then cool, man. Like you got a free thing. But other than that, I'm not gonna count on that. So there's no need to play any more than that. Double Rampage now. No need to play Twin anymore. He is the lifeblood of everything else. He bridges with the Power Bond and the Branded and under Branded Lost. How retarded. How absolutely ridiculous that they can't respond to anything like that. Amazing. Double Jade, we're still playing. Double Albion. One Lubellion. I know people are saying that like because of cash you have to play more than one. The thing is like because again I'm not pure Despia, I have other lines of play. So really it's like I'm playing 3 things that are just singles. And so the whole idea is like basically they can only choose one, and depending on which one that they do, I'm just going to use the other one. So I just decided a toolbox like that instead of playing like doubles of everything. So I just did it that way instead. One Alba still. Because of Keeper, the one of is still pretty good because you can just like Keeper, bring the Albaz back, and then just contact and make this, and then you have something that floats and can swing like at multiple monsters. And then it gets again like random rogue things and stuff as well. So he's sort of a random slot that's pretty good. One Guacamole. He honestly, because the Cartesia, that's right, Cartesia's gone, so he actually shouldn't even be here. I forgot to take him out.
Yeah.
He wasn't even there. One Rimbum. You only need one, I guess, because I'm playing the Dragoon, so that worked well. Quertus, he was there for this again, so there'll be 2 things to drop, actually. But if you wanted to play Blazing Cartesia, I guess I was trying it. It just sort of seemed kind of wonky to me, but this was super good off of this. You zero everything out and then Branded Fusion through their entire board that now has 0 attack. So that was the idea with that. That was super good. And then my Dragoon.
And the Dragoon. And the Dragoon. There it is.
So that was the idea. Is like, you know, you can hit, if they hit this one, then we break their board with this. If they hit this because they're afraid of that, then we break the board with this. Like, instead of doing it that way, and everything else is sort of explanatory from there. Here he tries the same sort of idea.
And if you guys don't know, his other profiles are in the channel. Go and check them out.
Yeah, we'll have more. And then that's right, because I remember side deck was never a thing before. I'm still sort of figuring it out, but I have a general idea.
Okay.
My token, 2 Nibiru. I only have 2, but I'm not even sure I would run 3 even if I did. I try to just toolbox more because you never want to see 2 of this card at the same time in your hand. I'd rather have it in combination with like a Veiler or an Imperm or something else that can also be used at the same time to help slow down the board. So amazing when it goes off, but even as amazing as it is, people are playing around it and doing different things now. So I like just freeing myself up a little bit more, even though it's very, very good. Here was the real spice, this card. This card's amazing. So all I need is a core, and we can break the whole cash board. Because your normal core, search Cyber Emergency, and then search this off the emergency, and then just banish core and put this on the field. And on summon, he sends every other face-up monster on the field to the grave.
Wow.
Doesn't destroy, just sends.
That's even better.
So it just feeds it. So like he's a walking dark hole. I can just help you clear anything else. So that's why I just put one in the side. Just depending on how I feel, I guess, in the matchup or how easy it is, I can just grab this. Fantastic out this format. Really, really good. The one Baldrake, just if I go up against Branded, he's pretty good in that match. Semi-mirror match, I guess you could call it for me. So he's really good addition for that. 3 Book of Eclipse, in combination with any other blowout, the Dark Hole, evenly match, anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, amazing. Feather Duster, pretty self-explanatory. Cyberload and Overflow, so searchable cards that can help me just like get banished stuff back. We can pop more things. It helps correct back row too because of how Rampage works, so I sort of was doing it that way instead of trying to just play like, I guess like Lightning Storms or something. It's searchable this way. 3 evenly, just because it's such a blowout right now. The 3rd Clockwork, and then the 2nd Fortress Dragon.
The Fortress.
Or what it goes into. So sort of just what I'm working with. Evenly is good. You know, imagine this being in here. I would like the Eclipse to be something else, but it probably it just puts in so much work right now. So it'll probably stay. Like overall, I think it's pretty good. I don't think I'm really missing anything.
All right.
Anyway, so try to just sort of fill gaps where I can.
Yeah.
Basically it. That's the idea, because you're just trying to get through. Like the Bystials aren't inherently as good as they were before, so I'm trying to use other things to help bridge gaps and things like that. So in a way, regular just like Sidra on its own. So it's like I got a list. Maybe next week or something. I'll show you.
All right. There you go. We're gonna wait for a new deck.
Sidra might actually have an easier time because you don't have to worry about all these weird like activation requirements and stuff or light and dark stuff. We can just break a board and go to work.
Let's see where we go. All right, Austin. Well, thank you for the deck profile. You know, always love having you in the channel.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, brother.
Take it easy.
All right.